Hey y'all, welcome back. We are on day 9 of 30 over 30. We're going over 30 aspiring CRA problems in 30 days. So every day for the month of November, I'm going live and I'm going to be discussing one problem each for those of you who are just tuning in or just joining me. So if you missed, if you're just finding out about this, then you've missed day or problem 1 through 8, and it's fine. You can go back and watch the replays. If you're just now tuning in, you can probably catch it on Facebook and YouTube. But if you're watching this replay and it's been a while, then it'll most likely only be on LinkedIn. That's the only platform that it's going to stay on. So, whatever the case is, find me. Check out day 1 through 8 so you can keep going and see how it all ties in with day 9. So, today, problem number 9, we're going to be looking at resumes. And a lot of people's problem with their resume is that it's very stable. A lot of people's problems with their resume is that it's generic and vague. And when I say generic and vague, meaning like it's most of the time it contains a lot of fluff, like a lot of buzzwords and keywords like like great oral and verbal communication, organized, team player. It has like a bunch of those fluff words, and it's very vague and it's general, and it doesn't really speak to one specific job, right? And the solution to that is that you want to create a JD or job description tailored resume. And a lot of people, unfortunately, we're not taught these things in school, right? Institutionalized education, so colleges, whether that's at the bachelor's level, at the graduate school level, high school, grade school, nobody talks about these things. They just say, oh, you get your education and then you're going to magically get a job, right? No, it's a little bit more complicated than that. And over the past 9 days, we've been discussing how branding, marketing, and selling yourself is actually the key to you landing your first CRA job. And so this goes and applies to the resume as well. You want to have a job description tailored resume. So what do I mean when I say that? What do I mean is you want to take the job description, and somebody had asked me this question. They asked me, if you saw the live on Monday, the Q&A, someone had actually asked me to send them some job descriptions. It's not a big deal. You can Google CRA, clinical research associate jobs, and a bunch of job descriptions will pop up. So what do I mean when I say that? Well, this is what I mean. So if you take a look at the job description, it can be a little bit challenging if you don't know what you're looking for, right? But this is hopefully going to give you some hints, some clues, some tips as to what I mean when I say tailor it, CRA job description tailored resume. So if you pull up a job description for a clinical research associate role, then you'll start seeing some of these terms like maintain and track files, coordinate projects, manage relationships, organize, present, things of that nature. And of course, most of y'all, myself included, when I first started looking, we didn't have any monitoring experience. And we did it. I know I did it. And I'm sure probably a lot of you don't really understand what these terms mean, right? When you see them initially. So that's okay. But in layman's terms, the basic definition of what organize means, what coordinate projects, manage relationships, a lot of us have done this in other roles. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a healthcare or clinical research or scientific role either. It could be in a completely different industry. A lot of my clients come from different industries, the financial industry, the what are some of the other industries? The lab, bench science industries, financial services industries. They come from a bunch of different industries. And so that's fine because guess what? You can still take what you've learned in those roles and still take these job description terms that you pull from the CRA job description and highlight your transferable skills. So maybe you have coordinated projects. Let's say you're coming from a completely different industry. Maybe you have coordinated projects for, I don't know, the financial space, or let's say you're a teacher, coordinated projects for your students. And although it's not like specifically clinical research experience, coordinated projects is coordinated projects, right? Maybe you haven't presented a clinical research presentation or scientific presentation, but maybe let's say you're coming from a marketing or sales type of role, and most likely you have had to present in those type of roles. Even the teacher role, you've had to present to your students in order to teach them whatever the lesson is for the day. So you've presented, you can capture that in your resume. Maybe you've had to maybe you haven't had to collect, review, and track documents or data per se in the clinical research space, but maybe you come from a role where you're in the let's say the business space, and you've had to do your research or your homework on a particular client. So you had to collect information on a particular client. You had to review or assess a client or a company. The same thing for managing relationships. Maybe you haven't had to manage relationships with physicians in a clinical research space, but maybe you've had to manage relationships internally with different departments throughout your company. Maybe you've had to manage relationships, going back to the teacher role. Maybe you had to manage relationships with not only your students and your colleagues, but also the parents. Maybe you're coming from, I have a client that works in the assisted living space for people that have different health conditions and things like that. So maybe you had to maintain relationships with not only those patients, but then also the family members. Maybe you had to maintain relationships with outside vendors and people that provided additional support. So you have to think about it in those terms. And, yeah, maybe you don't have that specific clinical research experience, right? But you have all this other experience that you can definitely take and use and tailor it to what the company is looking for. And how is all of this relevant? How does all of this matter? Well, it goes back to brand and marketing and selling yourself. If you can present and show and tailor your resume specifically to the CRA job, then that is marketing at its finest. And you're marketing yourself. Your resume then becomes a marketing tool that will draw in your particular client or company of interest, and then ultimately get you that email, that phone call, have the recruiter interested in taking you to the next level, which is the interview, right? And that's ultimately the goal. The goal is for your resume to, raise flags, say, hey, look at me, I'm a great candidate, so that they can call you and you can get that interview. So today we're going to keep it short as well. I wanted to just hop in here and cover how to tailor your resume and why not tailoring it specifically to the CRA job description is such a major problem for you guys. So for those of you who don't know, who are interested in working with me, I have a one-on-one coaching program. It's a 6-month coaching program, and you can check it out at aspiringcra.com to learn more all about it, and also to book a sales call with me. But just so you know, it does include not only the 6 month of one-on-one coaching, so 24 weeks, but I also include an online virtual course and training platform. So that's where you get all of your training, all of your templates, everything you need to land your first CRA job. You also get access. There's a portal where all of your coaching sessions are recorded. You get access to all of those recordings, so you don't have to worry about keeping notes and taking, making sure you capture everything. And then you can go back and watch the replays. You also get a mock interview with a recruiter, and then you get additional messaging support with me so that you can access me and reach me outside of coaching calls if you need me in between, our weekly sessions. So, like I said, I'm open right now for enrollment, and if you're interested in learning more and work with me, you can check out aspiringcra.com. And otherwise, I will look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. We're going to be on day 10. I can't believe it's the 10th of November already. But we're going to be on day 10, and I'm going to be showing up live here every day. It seems like this is the time. I've been trying to come on earlier, but it hasn't been working out. So I can't guarantee a specific time. But if you want to get notified every time that I do go live, follow me, click the notification bell, and then you'll get notified so you don't have to keep track of me. But tomorrow it'll probably be around the same time, maybe a little bit earlier, but around the same time that I go live. So thank you guys again for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow.